Just tattoo of us. This show makes me wanna die. Just tattoo of us. Why oh why? My subscribers are a bunch of masochists. You asked for this. You want to see people suffer. But so do I, so let's begin. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Tara Mooney. And this is the first YouTube channel where all the videos are written and produced by a cow. She sadly couldn't be here for this video, but if you like and subscribe, she'll appear in the next one. This isn't legally binding. Today, we will be watching people ruin their relationships, bodies, and even lives on an MTV show called Just Tattoo of Us. I recently reacted to a show called How Far Is Tattoo Far, which is the US version. But Just Tattoo of Us actually came first. So Britain is to blame for this. Like a lot of things, but we won't get into that. Right, shall we commence the torture? The first episode we're looking at today is presented by Charlotte Crosby, whose introduction to the limelight was on Geordie Shore, like Jersey Shore, except it makes even less sense. She also won Celebrity Big Brother, so I'm sure she's a natural on camera and her persona is not at all forced.
Connor's just outed Matthew as a porn star!
In this episode, we also have a guest host, Joey Essex.
Naughty.
His claim to fame is starring on The Only Way is Essex. So those are our judges. How about the contestants? So here we have a classic example of a very loving and not at all toxic friendship. Zoe and Becky.
She lies all the time, it doesn't matter what it is.
If today things go really badly, I'm not bothered about losing Becky as a friend.
They met in a nightclub where Zoe was dancing and Becky grabbed her and kissed her on the mouth, which I do not recommend doing. I know making friends as an adult is hard, but consent, people. Becky reveals to the judges that her last big argument with Zoe was when she body shamed her, and Zoe says she already thinks that this is going to go badly. And then Charlotte takes Zoe aside to confirm her design for Becky, and she eggs Zoe on to give Becky the worst tattoo ever.
I'm always hoping for good tattoos, but after seeing the way Becky spoke about Zoe, I wouldn't mind seeing her taught a lesson.
Which I suppose is her job, in fairness. So now let's get to the reveal. They haven't even seen the tattoos and they already know that their friendship is over.
Feel like your relationship as friends could last after revealing the tattoos?
Not at all. Don't think so.
And Zoe says she's not at all affected by Becky screaming in pain.
You don't care that she was screaming in pain?
No.
Maybe you should have gone to therapy instead.
All I can say is, liar, liar, pants on fire.
So you could say that her pants are on fire, but honestly, my first thought was her crack is on fire. Maybe that says more about me than the tattoo itself. So let's see Becky's.
Then for your couples on. Oh god, there's a lot of makeup on that.
Now,
Oh, the shade. Get it? She threw shade with that comment about the makeup on the shades. Shades. Did you get it? Did you get the joke?
people come here to test their friendship, but these two have come here to throw it in the bin. What the hell?
Can we briefly talk about the asides? Because the acting is...
What the hell?
Now, I'm no expert on acting, but from what I know, acting is truth. And Charlotte Crosby, I believe that those tattoos are more real than your acting. Now this one, it's a thinker.
Becky had an ex who cheated on her, then she went and slept with him, knowing that he had a girlfriend.
This is very dumb drama. I mean, this really isn't that deep. Like, why are these friends so concerned with each other's sex lives? Like, don't get me wrong, if my mate cheated on their partner, I'd say, like, you did a bad thing there. But that doesn't affect our friendship. So they basically just came on this show to break up. And if you're gonna lose a friend, you may as well get some short-lived clout from it. It's true what they say. A screenshot from an MTV show really does say 1,000 words. Waiting with your mum outside the principal's office like. Waiting to see if you get a callback audition like. Waiting for your gonorrhea test results like. Now let's watch some more relationships crash and burn. Next we have Maisie and Ollie from Cardiff. And Maisie is no stranger to reality TV, as she appeared on a show called X on the Beach, which I believe is the AliExpress version of Love Island. Maisie even finds Ollie overall attractive.
And all around, he is actually an attractive person.
I hate the way you chew, the way you sound when you sleep, and the way you look. But overall, you're attractive. These exes broke up because Ollie was texting his ex. Oh, and he also didn't give Maisie enough attention. He gave dogs more attention than her.
Give me enough attention. Just snogging dogs at house family parties.
Wait, what's the problem? By the way, this guy is a different person from Joey Essex. He's called Bear. So let's get to the tattoos. Not only do they choose the designs, but they also choose where on the other person's body the design goes. And Ollie chooses for his design to go on Maisie's ribs, which is one of the most painful places to get a tattoo. From that alone, I'd already be pissed. Anyways, the hosts are hoping that they can get Ollie and Maisie to rekindle their love. Everyone wants this to happen, except Maisie. They would be the first ever couple to reunite on the show. I wonder why this show has such a bad track record of getting people back together.
On the count of 3, brother, you may remove your fear goggles.
I like how they call them fear goggles. I need fear goggles in my daily life. For leaving the house. Ha! Mental health jokes. Funny.
That's you in it, by the way.
Hey Cal, when you edit this, could you put in a clip of someone rubbing salt into a wound? Cheers, love.
This is how I feel. Like, you can't be messaging your ex the day before messaging me and then lie.
But does the punishment fit the crime? Don't get me wrong, lying is bad. But did you need to go this far? Personally, I thought that was too far.
So much for getting these two back together. Ollie needs to pull something out the bag if I want my dreams to come true.
Charlotte, my love, get an acting coach. I'm sorry, I know I'm being petty.
What the hell?
This is constructive criticism. I mean, your acting is not good. Get a coach and it might be half decent. Maisie's tattoo turns out to be quite boring. It's basically just a lock and a key. And Ollie's like, you have the key to my heart. And she's like, no, you'd say the same to your ex. And he's like, no, but we have a laugh. And Ollie pops the question of, will you get back together with me to make good TV? And she says no, but then she says yes, very reluctantly.
Maisie, can you please be my girlfriend?
No. Yes.
Is it a happy ending if they're being held hostage? Let's talk about our final couple of the day, who met on Big Brother.
Like, where did it come from? We're in love.
Okay, so I don't usually like to go for people's looks, but...
Girl, look how orange you look, girl.
Sorry, that was a bit mean. But again, it's constructive criticism. Your spray tan looks like the saturation was turned up to 1,000%. And you know, it just... it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on you. It should be banned because it hurts my eyes. So these two have an on-off relationship. They've gotten engaged just to break up the next day. Huey says that if his tattoo from Ryan is nice, he'll propose. Spoiler, he doesn't propose. So the Irish guy is really angry because his boyfriend got a tattoo of his face on it, which says property of whatever his name is. Do you really expect me to learn D-list celebrity names? But as far as this show goes, that is one of the good ones. So if the bar for this guy is so high, he must have got something really harmless on his boyfriend, right? No, his is way worse.
Are you winding me up? Don't start with me, I swear to God, Huey.
Now this seems like a proportional reaction to the tattoo, and Huey graces us by sharing the story behind it. And I'm not going to repeat it, but I think you can probably work it out for yourself. And they share this on TV. How can you look at your dear old grandmother in the eye after this?
I think it's so romantic.
She's entitled to her opinion, but she's wrong. Not to be that guy that whacks out dictionary definitions, but characterized by or suggestive of an idealized view of reality. Oh, so that's as much as I can take for one day. This show is very bad for my blood pressure. But before we go, I'd like to do a fun little segment where I pick tattoos for my exes. Are you ready? So, here's the one I picked for my first ex. It's a troll because he cheated on me under a bridge. True story. The next one is of thumbs, or more specifically, my thumbs. And this is for my ex that said that they were shocked that I had opposable thumbs because I'm so dumb. Joke's on you because I have thumbs. Here they are. They're real. They're not prosthetic. Well, that took a dark turn. It's fine. I'm over it. I'm over it. Now, if I was to go with one of you lovely little subscriptions and get a tattoo, I'd get something nice on you, like my dog. Anyways, what would you get on your ex? Or your frenemy? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to become one of my little subscriptions. And like this video because one like equals one round of laser removal surgery for one of these god ugly tattoos. Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.